Parle Products, who's now joining us on the GST rate rationalization. Hi, Mr. Shah. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us. Mr. Shah, with GST, rate rationalization on chocolates, biscuits, cereal flakes, and namkeens from your company, it has reduced sharply. How do you plan to adjust the retail pricing or the grammage?
Well, so entire transition would happen into two phases. The first phase would be where you will see immediate price reduction on all packs, irrespective of the price point. Even on the smaller price points, you will see a price reduction. That's primarily, to ensure that whatever wrapper you had is consumed. Typically, when you talk about FMCG companies, large FMCG companies, they work on a lead time of about 1.5 2 months. So, as we sit today towards the end of September, our wrapper planning would have happened for almost about, October, November kind, mid-November, November kinds. So to exhaust that wrapper, what would happen is you will see inkjet printing of revised MRPs happening on the same old packs. You will be seeing two MRPs. One MRP would be the old MRP, and then a revised MRP would be there on it. And over a period of time, as the wrapper which is lying with the companies get exhausted, you would see some sort of adjustment happening. Either you would see continuous continuing of revised rates, or in smaller packs where price points are important, like 5 rupees and 10 rupees, you will see increase in weight of the packet so as to adjust the MRP per kg. The MRP per kg would be, adjusted in a way where you are passing, or the companies are passing, the entire GST benefit that they have received to the consumer.
All right. Hi, Mr. Shah. This is Kanishka also joining in, since we're talking of different product categories. Given chocolates and biscuits, they are highly competitive categories. So do you see GST cuts driving down industry pricing and intensifying competition instead?
Well, driving the demand, definitely. I think it's a great move by Government of India. I think this would spur demand. We were seeing a good growth coming in from urban and rural markets. This is going to further accelerate the growth. So we are expecting a good year. Add to it, good monsoons. All those things put together, we are looking at a very good growth and demand coming in the coming year. As far as competition is concerned, I think competition is welcome. I think when we talk about most foods category, in terms of penetration, we are still not having, the kind of penetrations which Western countries have as far as packaged food is concerned. So there's a long way to go, and there is space for, multiple players in these categories. So while there would be more players coming in, definitely, but I think, the absolute demand increase would take care of the additional players who are coming in. And there would be room for growth for almost all the players.
Right. Also, tell us, how will the GST reduction impact your input costs and sourcing strategy as well, especially for cacao, sugar, and cereal-based ingredients? Will this ease the margin pressure in chocolates and confectionery and the raw material inflation that has been challenging for you?
So one thing we have to be very clear about is that, this is not going to have any impact on margins, either positive or negative, because whatever reduction in GST is happening, you're going to pass it on to the consumers. Now, there might be reduction in, inputs because of reduction in GST, but that's something that, earlier with 18% GST, that was a ITC that was available to you, input tax credit that was available to you. Now that input tax credit would be available against 5%, while, the input, the GST on inputs have been reduced, even the GST on output, which is, your selling price is reduced. So ideally, it would subsume, or it would, absorb whatever the, reduction in GST that's happened at the input level. So net, there's not going to be any benefit or gain to any of the players as a result of that. Ideally, what would happen is there would be growth in volumes, and as a result of that growth in volumes, whatever little economies of scale that you can have, or whatever incremental sales that you have and absolute profits as a result of that, you may make a little more money. But otherwise, in terms of margins, I don't think it's going to be margin accretive.
Okay, so that's about cost. But talking volumes, like you mentioned, now Parle already has very deep penetration within the flagship biscuits. Now, do you expect this GST cut to lift volume growth materially? Possible to quantify that for us?
Yeah, definitely. So I think this is, as I shared earlier, it's going to spur demand, and we are going to see more consumption coming in as a result of reduced prices. We are expecting double-digit growth in the coming year for the balance part of the year, and the next year we would see at least about 12 to 13% growth coming in as a result of a reduction in GST.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. With that, it's time for us to slip into a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll keep getting you more updates on this big GST takeoff. Stay tuned for more.